Well, I'd like to use this drawing to illustrate how you can get yourself into trouble when you take drawings from the AutoCAD environment and try and load on top of the base drawing the GCAD Plus drawing using some of the symbol libraries. And there are many problems with this drawing. It's almost an example movie of what not to do. The first thing to check is, if we zoom out a little, you see there's a what would appear to be a base drawing done by a surveyor, and the location of a new house or an existing house is to go here in the centre. The first thing to check is have a look at the units that have been used. So measure something of known length and see what you get with the distance command. So if I take the distance command here, and there's a pathway in front of a veranda, so we'll use the distance command, latch on to, say, the midpoint of that line and run perpendicular, and I can see, maybe if I zoom in a bit, can you see that as I click and lock around, the cursor's jumping everywhere. It's looking for an insertion point currently, perpendicular to it can find. So I would argue that working this with so many O-snaps turned on is not the sensible way to work. But let's pick perpendicular, and you would have noticed that I got a distance of 1.2. Now, most building work in the metric system is done, and that includes landscaping, is done in millimetres. So this drawing, the base drawing's been done by a surveyor, I suspect, and they are working in metres. So what should have been done here is the base information should have been scaled by 1,000 to bring everything to millimetres. Let's illustrate why that can be a problem. If we go to the library and plants and go to standard, and we just take some symbol at random, this one will do, and I'll say I'm going to open it, and we're going to insert it into the drawing. Now, remembering that in GCAD Plus, all of our symbols are drawn with a canopy diameter of 1,000 units or a metre. So because the base drawing is in metres, and we're going to bring in a symbol which in effect is 1,000 metres in diameter, we're going to lose track of where it is, and we're likely to leave scattered all around the drawing blocks that we've brought in, and yet we lose. So knowing what we know, we need to bring it in at a symbol of 1 to 1,000. So I have to type in 0.001, and now with a uniform scale, now when I bring that symbol in, I can pop it, say, in the lawn area there, so the symbol goes in correctly. But if I don't take the trouble to put 001 in there, I leave myself open to losing symbols and getting lost. Speaking of getting lost, let me just zoom out a little, and I'll zoom out further and further and further, and you just might be able to see in this zone here there's some sort of symbol. So let's zoom in on it, and let's see how close we can get into the symbol. So there's a really complex symbol here, and it's called U-plant hedge. Now that looks nothing like a hedge to me, but it sits way, way off and away from the base plan. So that looks to me as though some editing has been done with some of the symbols. Recreating a symbol perhaps and renaming it on the fly is leading to some picking one of these symbols and editing it and renaming it and redefining a symbol can lead to a problem such as this. So it's better to stick with the symbols that come in with GCAD Plus rather than try and edit them. There's another issue in this design, and it all comes because you've taken a AutoCAD drawing from a surveyor. The settings in the incoming drawing are of course captured in GCAD Plus, and if we go to drawing units, it's decimal, which is what we recommend. I'd probably be inclined to say if we're going to bring something in scale at millimetres, but notice the angular measurements, degree, minutes and seconds. So it's been left, even though I'm told an architect has had hold of the drawing, it's been left in surveyor's units. We want to bring that back to decimal degrees, and you'll see it's degrees, minutes, seconds, which is something that we all find difficult to work with. And you might want to change your base angle and set back to 0 or 90, whatever you're happy to work with. And I'd recommend that you set that to AutoCAD's default, which gives you what we learnt to work with as children with protractors. So we'll say OK. Can you see that I've not looked closely at this drawing, but I can see quite a number of problems with it.